After a child is comfortable with the numbers from 0 to 9, they are ready to work with these numbers in categories, which is exactly what the decimal system is. The teacher should have introduced what a unit bead, 10 bar, 100 square, and 1000 cube is. At home, you can cut up paper to try to resemble the shape of the place value if possible. You can also use beans that can be used for unit beads, crayons for 10 bars, cut up squares for 100 squares, and cube blocks for the 1000 cubes. So I have here different kinds of materials, nothing uniform, but that's only just to show you or suggest what other materials you can use. Ideally, you would want them to be uniform. So on the units, I have small Lego pieces. The markers represent the 10 bars. The ramen are squares for the 100 squares, and tissue boxes for the 1000 cubes. And these are much bigger than they would be in the classroom. But again, you are working with what you have at home. In the classroom, if we have material that is too big for the rug or the work mat that it is on, then I would tell the child to get another mat. And that way everything still remains on the work mat. So here we have 2 work mats put together so that we can arrange all of our materials for this lesson. So in the class, we would have some way for the child to transport or bring these numbers to the teacher. So here I have a basket. The class would probably have a tray. If I ask the child to bring me 6 units, then they would go back to the rug and count out.
1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, 5 unit,
6 unit. But say they did not bring you the right number. Instead, they brought you 5. Then I wouldn't correct them. I wouldn't say, no, you didn't bring me 6. I would let the materials speak for themselves. So I would ask them, what did I ask you to bring? And if they didn't remember, I could help them out. All right, let's count together.
1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit,
5 units. What did I ask you to bring? 6 units. How many do I have here? 5 units. Do I have the right amount? No. Okay, go back and bring me 6 units. All right? And they would repeat the process until they're able to bring you the right number. Once you see that they mastered the units, then they can move on to the tens, and then the hundreds, and then the thousands. After the child has mastered quantities, they are ready to study the numeric symbols that represent them. If your child has been introduced this lesson at school, they should know the first of each category. So they will know that this, in the units column, that is a 1, that is a 10, that is 100, that is 1000. If they don't know what those are, they will not be ready for this lesson. Depending on where they are in this lesson, there are many layers. Your child may be able to bring numbers to you that you ask him or her to bring. Units are familiar, so it's a place to remind your child the process. Tens are a bit trickier, but easy to relate to if you say 4 tens and 8 tens as opposed to 40 and 80. If they don't know, you can ask, what's another way to say 40? Emphasize 40. Sometimes that doesn't work and you might need to tell them. That just means that they need much more practice in naming. Do the same with the hundreds and the thousands, one category at a time. When your child has mastered that level, then they are ready for the next. You can ask them for 2 categories at a time. The next step is to match the quantity to the numeric symbol. Have your child lay out the quantities on a mat and the decimal system cards. Ask your child to bring you numbers from one category, such as 6 or 70. If your child needs, give hints, but try to give as little information as needed. For example, if you ask for the number 60, then they should be able to bring 110, 210, 310, 410, 510, 610. And the number 60. All right, and if they bring that to you, you can ask them, what did you bring me? 60. How many zeros are in the number 60? 1 0. All right, let's count to see what you brought. What's another way to say 60? 6 tenths. Let's count.
1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths,
6 tenths. Okay, go put them back and let's do another number. Once they've gotten pretty good at bringing you the right quantity and its numeric symbol, then we can start combining the categories. So if I ask them for 68, then they can go and bring me the number. All right, so now let's check the work. And if the number looks like this, we have a thing that we call the magic number. It's a little bit hard to do because this is just regular paper as opposed to wood cards, but da-da! And that also emphasizes how the units are always supposed to be at the end and not at the beginning. All right, so I would ask, all right, in our number, how many units do we need? 8. So let's count how many units we have. 8 units. Good. And how many tens do we need? 6. Let's count.
1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths,
6 tens. All right. Did you bring me the right number? I think so too. Excellent. Yay. Your child is nearing mastery when they are able to construct 4-digit numbers and being able to match them to this quantity. So for example, if I asked for 5,679, then they would get me those numbers. All right, and let's get my quantity. All right, and there it is, 5,679. And this would be in the basket, and that is formation of large numbers and the whole of the decimal system cards.